Manchester United lose to Brighton 1-0 in literally the 99th minute. Disappointing is all I've got to say, but we can't reflect and blame on them getting a lucky penalty to win the game. Manchester United weren't good tonight, and a draw would have been a good result, because realistically it would have been an amazing point for Manchester United, because we got played off the park yet again away from home. Our away form, terrible form, continues, and Manchester United yet again winless away from home against the top side of the table. It's just not good enough for Manchester United, and considering we had a great start and Anthony troubled the keeper right at the start of the game, literally like the second minute, Manchester United looked threatening. But then there was just moments during the game where we just got completely outrun. It reminded me a lot of the FA Cup semi-final, but they just obviously got a lucky goal right at the end. I mean, what a penalty that was from McAllister, and you can't take that away from him. Brighton were the better team tonight, and they were the better team in the semi-finals in my opinion, but United obviously won on penalty shootout. But at the end of the day, Brighton have won. That's all I can say. It's a disappointing result to be talking about. It's a disappointing feeling, but Zerbi gets his revenge, and in what a fashion of way to do it. It's not like they completely dominated us, but they were just a much better side. Certain players just shouldn't have started, in my opinion, and like I said in my preview, that I think that Erik ten Hag should have gone for a 4-man midfield and risk and not play a winger, because for me we weren't creating anything up front, like going forward, and we were getting completely beaten in the midfield. I mean, Caicedo wasn't even in their midfield tonight. He was a right back, completely man marking Marcus Rashford. We completely took him out of the game, who was our main goal scorer. Anthony Martial was backing out every single 50-50. Anthony just lost his head and was just getting dead frustrated. Yes, he had them early chances in the first half, but as the second half went on, he deserved to get taken off. He wasn't doing anything. Sancho didn't really do anything. It was a disappointing result all game round. The defence looked quite solid, and Wan-Bissaka again dealt with Matoma really well. He did get past Wan-Bissaka a few times at Matoma, and he had a very good game. And he was a threat. But you know, it's a difficult game to talk about, because United just weren't good enough, and there's no really positives we can take from this. I mean, we faced West Ham at the weekend, and I think that's away from home as well. So it's going to be a difficult game in my opinion. And if our away form is like it is, as it has been recently, then United are in trouble. I mean, City have just absolutely battered West Ham 3-0. But, you know, Manchester United, are we losing out on top four? Because like I've said many times on this channel, it's United's top four to lose. And I'm not going to sit here screaming and ranting, because that's not the type of game it is. It doesn't deserve that type of emotion. But it's just gutting, because, you know, it's one of them games where you've set yourself for a draw all game. I thought it was going to be a draw, and Manchester United just like I said, they've just proven that away from home United aren't good enough, and that needs to improve. I mean, Erik ten Hag did say at the start of the season he's going to make Old Trafford a fortress. Okay, he's done that. United have done really well when we're at home. So now, Eric, you need to just make sure that our away form is brilliant as well, because there's just been too many times where we've lost this season, and this is why top four is still in fear. Because Brighton, I mean, considering they've only got one game in hand behind us, I think they're 6, maybe 7 points away from us. If they win another game and they've got equal game in hand on us, I'm not going to say Brighton get Champions League football, because they've got very tough fixtures, but you know, it's like I said, it's Manchester United's top four to lose, and we need to be seeing out these games. I mean, Luke Shaw, I don't know what you want to say about that handball. I mean, some people will say jumping up for it, you have to jump with your arms. Yes, I understand that, but it was like he put his hand up like he was asking, like he was ready to answer a question in school. It was stupid. I don't know why his hand was so high up. And yeah, it's a clear penalty. I'm not going to not acknowledge that. It was a clear penalty, and it was Brighton's get out of jail free card almost. But Brighton were the better team tonight, and that's all I can say really. Zerbi gets his revenge, and yeah, player ratings anyway. David De Gea for me, I'll give a 6. I mean, I was thinking of giving him a 5, but you know, I felt like the saves he had to make throughout the game, a 6 is reasonable, but we know how bad David De Gea is at penalties. He went the complete wrong way, and that was probably one of the best penalties we've actually seen in the Premier League this season. It was unstoppable. No keeper saved that penalty from McAllister. So I'm not going to give De Gea too much slack, but he didn't have a good game today. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I'm going to give a 5 to. I just felt like that, yes, his job was mainly to mark Matoma, but he didn't do it in a great fashion. I mean, Matoma wasn't the best. Well, Matoma struggled on finishing his chances, but he got past Aaron Wan-Bissaka a few times, and you know, I think that Matoma wanted to win that mental edge battle that Wan-Bissaka, because Wan-Bissaka had a hold of him throughout the entirety of the semi-final. So yeah, Wan-Bissaka for me gets a 5 out of 10. Lindelof, I'm going to give a 6 to. I felt like Lindelof was quite solid throughout the game. I mean, like, it's just because of how attacking Brighton were. Lindelof did very well, in my opinion. So yeah, for me, Lindelof gets a 6. Luke Shaw, I'm going to have to give him a 4. I mean, that penalty, that's on him. I'm not going to blame David De Gea for it. I'm going to blame Luke Shaw for that penalty, because, you know, penalties, it's a master set piece, and it's a master skill that you need to have in football, and that's why certain teams have their penalty specialists, because it's still a very hard job. People say a penalty is a free goal. I don't think so. I think it's a very hard skill, because you're under a lot of pressure. McAllister, to score in that fashion, under that amount of pressure, it's 0-0, 99th minute, it's pretty much the last kick of the game, and he literally absolutely just smashes it into the top left corner, which is just unstoppable. But yeah, for me, Luke Shaw, he had a good game, don't get me wrong, but it was an average game, like Lindelof's. Decent game, didn't do anything that was good, didn't do anything that was bad, but Luke Shaw loses us that game by putting his hand up to answer the question that the teachers asked. Anyway, the lot, I felt like that with, I just felt like the lot, they didn't really have a good game today. That's all I've got to say. Brighton were just way too good. That's all I've got to say. Brighton were just too good. I'm going to give the lot a 5. Casemiro, don't know how he didn't get sent off. I mean, he was treading on thin ice. For me, 5. Fred, 4. Don't really know what he did on the pitch. People thought that bringing in Fred in this type of game would have been good. I don't think so. I don't know. Fred's not been good since he's been dropped, really, and every time he's come on for that cameo, for whether he's coming off the bench, whether he's starting a game, he's not been putting in good performances. I don't know how he's playing over Sabitzer, and yeah, I just don't understand it. Bruno Fernandes, 5. I mean, again, had a shot on target, created a few chances, but we just had nothing up front, and Bruno, I feel sorry for, because for me, Bruno's our best player, in my opinion. And he's the only one recently that, apart from him and Marcus Rashford, they're the only players that are currently stepping up. And it's frustrating to watch, because you know how much quality Bruno and Rashford possess. But the team are letting them down, especially away from home. And it seems like our heads are completely dropping at the moment. But yeah, Bruno for me, 5 out of 10. Antony, 5 out of 10 as well. I just think that Antony just wasn't good today. Didn't really create anything. He had them early chances, but again, didn't do anything from him. Didn't really trouble the keeper at any moment. He did have a shot on target, but it was an easy save for Steele to make. Anthony Martial, 4. Don't know why he was on the pitch, backing out of every single 50-50. Don't think he made one run into the opposition's box. Anthony Martial just wasn't good enough today, and I understand why Erik ten Hag made the changes today, because obviously it's a double game weekend. We would have played 3 games in the last 7 days, so rotation is needed. But Martial just didn't have a good game today. I would have honestly rather played him against West Ham, a team that you can actually try and win. We need to beat West Ham at weekend, 100%, because you know, if we get a draw against West Ham, then top 4 could be looking really, really ropey, in my opinion. And Marcus Rashford, I'm going to give a 6 to. I felt like that the shots he had, he could have done better from, but I felt like he was our best attacker going forward, like he's been all season. So for me, Marcus Rashford just, you know, couldn't really do much today. Substitutions, Sancho, didn't really notice him, 5. Sabitzer, 5. Weghorst, 5. I think that's everyone. So yeah, disappointing game. That's all I've got to say for this game, and credit to Brighton. They've been a brilliant side all season, and they belong in a European spot because they will do very well in Europe, in my opinion. But I just hope Manchester United can somehow win in the next few games and try and give me some confidence for top 4, because some fans saying that top 4 is not a risk. I'm starting to think it is, and I've never been on that. I've never been on the hype train. That top 4 is secured, because I really don't think so, and I think you're arrogant if you think that top 4 is secured for Manchester United, because I don't think it is. But anyway, that's just my opinion. But anyway, if you made it this far into the video, thank you for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, comment and share, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.